Alright, what's up, YT? It's Andy Brown DT. I know, it's been a minute since I said that. But welcome back. Today we have the roster update from yesterday, which was June 11th. There was a big roster update. I'm just going to be going over all the cards that went from silver to gold and gold to silver, along with the cards that I think should have went up that didn't, and some good investments, bad investments. And yeah, let's just get right into it. Alrighty guys, so coming up first, we got the Toronto Blue Jays left-handed starting pitcher, Robbie Ray. So he went from a silver to gold, obviously. He was at a 78 overall. I think it's pretty interesting. The only two things that actually went up were his strikeouts per 9, and it only went from a 70 to 71. Also, his walks per 9 went up from a 57 to a 67, which is a pretty big jump. But I'm pretty shocked that that actually did put him up 2 full overalls, but that's pretty good for him. Now, if we scroll down to the trends for how much his card is worth, as you can see, if you invested in the recent days, he has gone from 650 up to 1,000. So if you invested, absolutely great investment, 350 per. And looking over here, I mean, it was pretty consistent for a while, and then as the day hit, it spiked up. So yeah, if you invested in Robbie Ray, which I did not, I didn't even know of him, great investment, bank. Coming up next, we have Randal Crichuk, who is also from the Toronto Blue Jays, right fielder. He went up from a 79 to an 80 overall. All that boosted for him was actually his contact for righties, which went from 53 to 56, which is still really bad. And power to righties, 67 to 70, which also isn't great. But hey, his card went up. Taking a look at the market, his card was honestly already at around 900, which makes sense because he was a 79 overall. He only went up 1, so I didn't see his card going up a bunch in profit if he did actually go up. Coming up third, we have Chris Bassi from one of the sleeper teams of the MLB this year, the Oakland Athletics. So he went from a 78 to an 80, another silver to gold. So for him, his hits per 9 went from a 76 to 78. Strikeouts went from a 59, to 61, and walks went from a 73 to 74. So not too many big updates, but he did get 3 things that all went up, so I think that's what helped him a lot. And looking at the trends, this is another pretty solid investment if you did buy him. He went up almost 300 from the day before, and if you got him about a week before, you could have made upwards of 600, which is insane. And coming up next, we have finally one of the guys that I did actually invest in Brandon Crawford, B-Croft from the Giants, who have also been playing out of their mind this year. Just like I said, his card was at a hitting bronze and is now at a hitting silver, and the fielding stayed the same. So I figured he would go up because of that. His stats actually went up a lot. He's been hitting really good in real life. His discipline went up 13, which is a lot. Power versus lefties went up 13, which is a lot. And his power and contact versus righties both went up 4, putting them over 80. Very good stats now. This card's actually pretty solid. And looking at the trends, I think this one was pretty obvious that it was going to go up. So recent days, it hasn't gone up a ton. But if you did invest last week or a while ago even, you could have made upwards of 600 about though. Still pretty good. I think this was definitely one of the most obvious ones that was going to go up. And coming up for our second to last silver to gold, this is one that I also did not see coming, but we have Eduardo Escobar, who went from a 79 to 81 overall. His hitting and fielding is both silver, which is pretty interesting that he's a gold, but I guess pretty good overall. His stats that went up, contact versus lefties went up 10, which is good because that was at a 39, which is absolutely brutal. Power versus lefties also went up 9, which was 63, not terrible. And I think it's funny because his vision did actually go down 3, but he did still get upgraded. And now looking at the trends, honestly, whenever you invested was a pretty good time, except for on this day, it was pretty high for some reason. But yeah, you definitely could have made a lot of money off this guy, and I think it was definitely a great investment. Coming in with our final silver to gold, we have a 79 to 81 upgrade again in Tyler O'Neill, the left fielder for the Cards. This card actually changed a lot, and I think it's interesting because his hitting is actually very bad, and his fielding is what's keeping him in gold. But for his hitting stats, which changed a lot, his contact versus righties went up 13, power versus righties went up 3, which boosted him a lot. His power versus lefties went up 4. And looking at like the non-actual hitting things, his vision and discipline both went down 4 and 13, which is pretty bad considering his discipline is already pretty bad. Looking at the trends, this one really wasn't a good one to buy in because it was already over 1,000 and it honestly went down somehow from going to gold. But hopefully nobody bought in this one because it did not go up at all. So yeah. Coming up for our first gold to silver, I'm absolutely loving this one. I've been invested in my boy Tyler since he was silver. And he is finally at diamond, which is what I've been waiting for. But anyways, he went up from an 83 to a 85, making him gold to diamond. His stamina went up 7, hits went up 4, strikeouts went up 2, and walks went up 3. His walks are actually pretty bad. But I think this guy has deserved this for a while. He's a great pitcher. I don't even know why he was put at silver to start. But yeah, I think this is one of the best investments. Looking at the trends, I think I invested in this guy like when the game first came out almost, which was like months ago. So I bought him for less than 1,000. So I am making the big bucks today. But even if you bought in him like a week ago, which is when I think I posted the first video, I think it was great. I mean, it went up like 1,500. You could easily make a big profit off of him. Next up for our gold to diamond, we have another pitcher, Lance Lynn from the Chicago White Sox, who are pretty hot right now. But honestly, his card only went up hits per 9, up 4, which is the only thing he needed. He did only go from an 84 to an 85, but I definitely do think he deserved it. He's been pitching out of his mind this year. I also thought it was pretty funny how he is a switch hitter and a pitcher and only a right pitcher. The trends, honestly, this guy isn't the best buy because he's only gone up about 800 to 1,000, so you really couldn't make a lot on him, but still a gold to diamond. He has been sitting at the 84, which is only 1 off, so it does make sense. And third and second to last up for our gold to diamond card, we have Kevin Gausman, who's another one that I did predict to go up. Not to flex or anything, but stamina went up 3, hits went up 8, strikeouts and walks both went up 3. This card was pretty interesting to go up because it was at an 82 and it did jump all the way to an 85. So I'm betting when we look at these trends, it's going to be pretty good. And looking at the trends, I was kind of right. In the recent days, he's been pretty hyped up, but I do think he's been pitching like absolutely insane this year, like insane numbers. But if you did invest like a week or a week and a half ago, you could be making some bank right now, upwards of 3K per card. Absolutely insane. This is a guy to buy in. And for our final gold to diamond, we have the only one that actually went above 85 overall, and he's 86 overall. Yoli Gurriel, who we don't like. He's from the Asterix. But his fielding is a bronze, which I think is pretty funny, and his hitting is diamond. So he's just a great hitter. But his contact for righties went up 3. Contact for lefties went up 11, pretty big. Discipline went up 10, pretty big. And his vision went up 6. Honestly, his hitting stats are very good on this card. I can't even lie. Looking at the trends, not a bad card to invest in. Definitely, I think the other ones were better besides Lynn. I don't think he was good. But, yeah, you could still have profited off him if you invested in him about a week ago. But in the recent days, not really. But, yeah, he's not the best investment, but he's not the worst. And so real quick to end the video off, I just want to go over what I think the best investments were and the worst investments. And I'll also say some ones that I'm shocked that did not go up in the end. But first off, for the good investments, Tyler Glasnow, that card went up a ton in the past week. Even in the past couple of weeks, if you invested, absolutely insane. Kevin Gausman, I think, was the best one. I mean, even a week ago, if you bought 10 of him, you would have made 30K stubs just by buying 10 of his cards, which is absolutely insane. That guy's pitching lights out. That diamond might even go up soon. I would keep investing in him. And finally, the silver to gold Robbie Ray, the first card we went over. That card actually was only around 300 and is actually at 1,000 now because it's a gold. So you could have made 700. Obviously, you could have bought a lot because it was only at 300. A lot of money to be made there. And looking at our bad investments, they weren't necessarily bad investments. They just didn't make as much money as the other ones or didn't make any at all. And we have Gurriel and Lynn. I think both these cards were already at 4,000 or even 5,000 before they went diamond. So really, there's not a lot, if any, of money to be made. So I don't think these cards were worth it. And finally, for the cards that did not go up, that I'm very shocked that did not go up, we have Jesse Winker, who's had an absolutely insane month of May. I don't know how this card didn't go up. There's no way it doesn't go up next one. Next up, Aaron Savale. I think he just got his 9th win last night, and he's leading the majors, and he's still at a silver, which is absolutely insane to me. That's another one that I would buy heavily in. It's got to go up eventually. And finally, Trey Mancini from the Orioles. He's also been playing out of his mind, and I'm shocked his card did not go up from a silver to a gold.